Howdy guys, lovely to see you all again. As you might tell, my voice is slightly bassier than usual. That's because I have a cold, but it is making me sound sexy. Anyway, I was feeling sassy in Latin today and I thought, what better sassy in Latin than Malaguena Salerosa by Avenged Sevenfold. So let's take a look at that solo twice. Alright guys, let's take a look at the first section. I want to start off from 9 of the 4th string, and I'm going to play from there to, that's 8 of the 3rd, and we're going to do that twice. We're going to finish that major triad off by playing 11 of the 3rd string. And I'm going to do that little phrase thrice. So I'm going to do that 3 times in a row. At the end of that, what I've got here is a pull off from 9 to 8 on the 3rd string, and then I'm just playing 9 again. So all together. Okay, then after that I work into a very similarly phrased arpeggio situation with this. What I have here is a flat finger from 9 of the 4th to 9 of the 3rd. I do that concept twice. Well, I finish that cheeky little arpeggio off by playing 12 of the 3rd string, but I'm only going to do this one twice. From that point, I descend down a scale run like this. Let's slow that down. I'm going to play 10 of the 2nd string, and then 12, 11, 9 on the 3rd. I'm going to hit 9 on the 3rd again, and then I'm going to do a pull off from 12 to 11 on the 4th, and then play 12 again. So I'll play that run. This is what we should have from the start of section 1. At the end of that, I work into a D major arpeggio concept from 12 of the 4th to 11 of the 3rd, and then I've got just that arpeggio twice, 12 of the 4th, 11 of the 3rd, I play that twice, and then play 14 of the 3rd string to finish that arpeggio, and this one is also only 2 times through. At the end of that, I'm just working down the scale here, so I'm playing 15, 13, 12 on the 2nd string, and 14, 12, 11 on the 3rd. At the end of that, I've got a cheeky little slide into 14 of the 3rd, and then I want to pull off 12, 11, and then resolve that on 12. So let's go from the D major arpeggio. Hopefully that's all making sense. Then I work into this phrase. So it's kind of working in descending groups of 4. I'm going to have 2 leading notes though, from 8 to 10 on the 2nd string, and then we work through this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's quite predictable. So I've got the 2 leading notes, 8, 10 on the 2nd string, and then I'm going to play 12, 10, 8 on the 2nd, and then play 11 of the 3rd. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to play 10, 8 on the 2nd string, and then 11, 9 on the 3rd. So back to back. Then from that point, the next group of 4, I'm going to play 8 of the 2nd string, and then 11, 9, 8 on the 3rd. So we've got, at the end of that, I've got a slide from 9 to 11 on the 3rd, then I pull off 9, 8 on the 3rd, and then jump to 9 of the 4th. That's going to sound like this. Let's go from those 2 leading notes from 8 to 10, and then work through that run with the cheeky slide at the end. To finish that off and lead into the 2nd section, I'm going to play 12 of the 2nd string and 11 of the 1st string twice. And that will lead us into the next section. So let's take it from the start of the section at a gentlemanly pace, and then we'll do it again even slower with some tabs. One more time with some tabs. All right, so we've just come out of the first section with... So we're going to start the second section from the end of that major triad by playing 14 of the first string. And then we're going to do 2 more B major arpeggio situations. I'm going to play 12 of the second and 11 of the first twice. So that's the same as what we had before. And then I do 14 again to finish that triad. We're going to do that idea twice. So I'm going to have a single 14 and then 2 arpeggios. At the end of that, I'm pulling off 12 to 11 and then going back to the 12. So it's pretty much exactly the same as what we had in the first section, just up an octave. And then I work into this phrase. So what I've got here is sort of an E minor idea. I'm working through this. So the start of that, I'm playing 17 of the second string and 15 of the first twice. And then I finish that on 19, and then I want to hit 19 again and work into a 4-string E minor arpeggio. Let's go through that slowly. I'm pulling off 19 to 15 on the first string, and then as I climb up the strings, 17 of the second, 16 of the third, and 17 of the fourth, and then I'm just going to ascend in exactly the same manner. Basically that hanger 18 shape. Then from that point... What I'm doing here is working down just an E Aeolian shape, nice and simple. I'm playing 20, 19, 17 on the first and the second string. And then I've got, you can have a bit of a slide entry if you want. I'm going to 20 of the second string, then pulling off 19 to 18, and then playing that 19 again. So that has sort of that harmonic minor gypsy sound. It is kind of weird hearing that note, but it does have a lot of sass and flavor. Let's have a look at what we've got thus far from the start of this section at a gentleman's pace. Hopefully that's making sense. Then I work into sort of a D major arpeggio. Let's slow that down. I'm going to start from 15 of the second string. I'm going to play 14 of the first. We'll do that twice. And then finishing that sort of similarly phrased arpeggio on 17 of the first string. Then I work into this phrase. What I've got here is I'm playing 15 of the second string, and then I'm going to play 14, and then 15 to 14 is a pull off on the first. All together. At the end of that, I work into this run. So basically for me, when I'm going through this, I'm almost thinking of it like I would a 3-note per string G Ionian shape, if that makes sense. If it doesn't, we'll go through the notes individually anyway. I'm going to play 20, 19, 17 on the first string. Then exactly the same thing, 20, 19, 17, but twice on the second string. Still working down the scale diatonically. I'm going to play 19, 17, 16 twice on the third. And then 19, 17, 16 once on the fourth. This is what we should have. At the end of that, I'm going to resolve that on 17 of the fourth string. At the end of that, I've got 2 leading notes into my big shred bonanza after that. That was 19, 20 on the first string. All right, so we've sort of got 3/4 of the way through this section. Let's put together what we've got, and then we'll concentrate on that final shred. Hopefully that's making sense. Now the last shred run is quite strange because it kind of drifts between like, 16ths and 8ths and also triplets. So it's kind of a bit of a strange pulse here and there, but we'll go through it slowly. I want to think of the first bit as a group of 3. I think of this as an apple pie. So I'm sort of doing 2 16ths and an 8th, but we'll figure all that out in tab later. So I'm going 22, 20, 19 on the first string. Then with just a straight triplet, I'm playing 20, 19, 22 on the second string. Then from that point, I'm just working through straight 16ths. So I've got 2 groups of 3. and then I'm working through a group of 4 here. So I was playing 20-19 on the second and 21-19 on the third. So we've got the leading notes. Okay, then the next thing, I'm going through sort of that 2 16ths and an 8 again. I'm playing 19 of the second string and then 21-19 again on the third. Then I work into this phrase. Let's slow that down. I'm playing 21-19 and then 22-21-19 on the 4th string. And then just 22-21-19 on the 5th. So let's go from the 2 leading notes, that big shred run, and then there's just 2 bends at the end. Hopefully that's all making sense. Then I work into this phrase. Well, 1 bend and 1 delicious vibrato. So I'm doing a big bend on 20. Then I bring that back to finish on 19 of the second string. And that is the whole thing. Let's take it slowly from the start of the section, and then we'll do it again even slower with some tabs. One more time with some tabs. And that was the solo from Malaguena Salarosa. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Thank you for enduring my sexy cold voice. It is quite arousing, so you've all done very well on that regard. If you like this lesson, please like and subscribe if you haven't already done so. And please click the links in the description box to my Patreon and my Facebook group. I'll catch you guys all very soon.